Life imprisonment for Chumlee of Pawn Stars? The internet is buzzing with disbelief. How did Vegas's favorite fun-loving pawnshop sidekick end up behind bars for life? Imagine trading light-hearted banter over vintage guitars for a lifetime in a maximum security cell. What led Austin Chumlee Russell from playful pawnshop pranks to purportedly facing the harshest sentence our justice system can impose? Could this be a case of mistaken identity, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Join us as we unravel the truth behind the sensational headlines, examine the twists that fueled the rumor mill, and reveal the real legal saga that sparked this jaw-dropping life sentence claim. In early 2025, a startling rumor swept through the Pawn Stars fan base like wildfire. Austin Chumlee Russell, the show's beloved comic relief, had been sentenced to life in prison. For a man known for his easygoing demeanor, goofy humor, and endearing naivete, the claim was nothing short of jaw-dropping. Chumlee had spent over 15 years charming audiences with his light-hearted banter and unexpected expertise, making the notion of him behind bars for life seem utterly incongruous. Fans took to social media, forums, and YouTube comment sections, buzzing with disbelief and speculation. How could the affable pawnshop employee, a fixture of the gold and silver pawnshop in Las Vegas, have fallen so far? The rumor's audacity demanded a closer look at Chumlee's life, his rise, his struggles, and the truth behind this sensational headline to separate fact from fiction and understand the man at the center of it all. In the months that followed the debunking of the life sentence rumor, media analysts and digital forensics experts cited the Chumlee hoax as a textbook example of viral misinformation. Academic journals dissected the timeline, an anonymous post on a low-traffic message board, a single blog article that misquoted court documents, and then a cascade of social media shares that gave the rumor its wings. Within 48 hours, it had ballooned from obscurity into trending hashtags, despite the absence of any credible source. Yet, just as rapidly, the rumor was dismantled, first by Rick Harrison's concise public statement, then by the History Channel's official release of court records, and finally by a collaborative fact-checking feature on a major news network. This multi-pronged response showcased the power of transparency. When falsehoods are met with clear, verifiable evidence and open dialogue, they can be neutralized before doing lasting damage. Chumlee's own role in that process was as vital as his father's. Rather than retreating from the spotlight, he faced questions head-on, granting interviews in which he calmly walked viewers through the legal timeline, clarifying each charge and its resolution. He even invited a respected criminal justice reporter into his candy store for a live Q&A, where fans could ask anything from "What really happened in 2016?" to "How did you stay positive?" His willingness to engage directly with skeptics transformed him from a passive subject of gossip into an active ambassador for truth. By owning his past mistakes and celebrating his growth, he not only quashed the life sentence myth, but also deepened the public's affection for him. For Pawn Stars viewers, this episode became more than a side story. It became a reaffirmation of the show's core appeal. Beyond the dusty relics and brisk negotiations lay a family whose bonds were tested by rumor and adversity, yet emerged stronger and more authentic. Fans saw in Chumlee's journey a reflection of their own struggles with online misinformation and personal setbacks, and they rallied around the Harrison clan as champions of honesty and resilience. Today, Chumlee's calendar is filled with far more uplifting pursuits than legal battles. He oversees the planned expansion of Chumlee's Candy into 2 new Las Vegas locations, personally curating nostalgic confections and designing retro-themed interiors. He's collaborating with indie developers to release limited-run video game cartridges, nostalgic side-scrollers that pay homage to his childhood favorites, while featuring Easter egg nods to Pawn Stars. And perhaps most importantly, he lends his story to community outreach programs, speaking at schools about the dangers of rumor, mentoring individuals on probation, and partnering with nonprofits to promote media literacy. In an age when sensational headlines can outpace the facts by hours, the Chumlee life sentence hoax stands as a reminder that the truth, though sometimes slower to spread, ultimately endures when championed with clarity, courage, and compassion. And it is the people, like Chumlee and the Harrison family, who refuse to let their reputations be defined by falsehoods, who model the resilience and humanity that keep audiences tuning in. week after week. To understand every twist, we need to rewind to where it all began. Keep your eyes on the screen. The ending will leave you speechless. Austin Lee Russell was born on September 8, 1982, in Henderson, Nevada, a stone's throw from the glitz of Las Vegas. At age 12, his father bestowed upon him the nickname Chumlee, inspired by the walrus character Chumlee from the cartoon Tennessee Tuxedo, a playful jab at his chubby cheeks and laid-back vibe. That moniker stuck, becoming a defining part of his identity. Growing up, Chumlee forged a deep bond with Corey "Big Hoss" Harrison, the son of pawn shop owner Rick Harrison. Their childhood friendship laid the groundwork for a lifelong partnership. Chumlee stepped into the gold and silver pawn shop, a family-run business co-founded by Rick and his father, Richard "Old Man" Harrison, in 1989. Initially, his role was practical, testing items, loading merchandise, writing pawn tickets, but his presence soon became indispensable. When Pawn Stars debuted on July 19, 2009, Chumlee was thrust into the spotlight as a series regular. His duties remained the same, but his goofy humor and surprising knack for pinball repair quickly won over viewers. Fans adored his bumbling charm, a counterpoint to Rick's shrewdness and Corey's ambition, making him an unexpected star in the show's ensemble. Chumlee's entry into television was bittersweet, shadowed by personal loss. Just 2 weeks before the Pawn Stars premiere, his father succumbed to pancreatic cancer, a devastating blow that left a lasting mark. The show itself was a novel concept. Follow the Harrison family's day-to-day operations as they appraised and haggled over items brought into their Las Vegas pawn shop. From rare coins to quirky collectibles, each episode offered a glimpse into the unpredictable world of pawning, blending history with entertainment. The formula struck gold. Pawn Stars soared to become the History Channel's top-rated show, and the second most-watched reality series on television, trailing only Jersey Shore at its peak. Chumlee's role as the lovable everyman, often the butt of Rick and Corey's good-natured jabs, cemented his place in the cultural zeitgeist. His father's death, though a private tragedy, fueled a quiet resolve that would later shape his personal journey. Even as the show propelled him to fame, Chumlee didn't rest on his TV laurels. He seized opportunities to carve out his own niche. Early in his career, he juggled pawn shop work with stints as an assistant manager at McDonald's and a sandwich maker at Quiznos. Experiences that grounded him in hustle and humility. As Pawn Stars took off, he launched a novelty item company, designing quirky merchandise that caught Rick's eye. Impressed, Rick bought a 50% stake for approximately $160,000, a vote of confidence in Chumlee's entrepreneurial spirit. His crossover appeal grew with a guest appearance as himself on Nickelodeon's iCarly in 2012, bridging the gap between reality TV and pop culture. The pinnacle of his ventures came in 2017 with the opening of Chumlee's Candy on the Boulevard, a nostalgic sweets and souvenir shop adjacent to the pawn shop. Located in Pawn Plaza, it offered retro candies and branded trinkets, capitalizing on his fan base's affection. These endeavors showcased a savvier side of Chumlee, proving he was more than just the show's clown. He was a budding businessman with a knack for turning fame into fortune. Chumlee's ascent wasn't without turbulence, and his legal troubles in 2016 became the crux of the life sentence rumor. On March 9, 2016, Las Vegas police raided his home as part of a sexual assault investigation sparked by a woman's complaint. The search uncovered a troubling haul: methamphetamine, marijuana, Xanax, and 12 firearms, 8 of which were unregistered. Chumlee faced 20 felony counts, including drug possession and weapons charges, with the specter of sexual assault allegations looming. The media frenzy was immediate, detailed the arrest, painting a stark contrast to his on-screen persona. However, the investigation took a turn. The sexual assault probe concluded with no charges, as evidence didn't substantiate the claim. Facing the remaining counts, Chumlee struck a plea deal on May 23, 2016. He pleaded guilty to 1 felony count of unlawful firearm possession and 1 gross misdemeanor of attempted drug possession. His sentence? 3 years probation, counseling, and forfeiture of the seized items. No jail time, let alone a life sentence. By 2019, the felony was reduced to a misdemeanor upon completing probation, a quiet resolution that restored his freedom. Yet, the internet's echo chamber twisted this saga. Misinterpreted legal filings, exaggerated blog posts, and hoax videos, like those claiming a 2025 life sentence, fueled the rumor. Fans, recalling the 2016 headlines, latched onto the narrative, mistaking probation for a permanent fall. A testament to how quickly truth can morph into myth online. Chumlee's brush with the law wasn't his only battle. His father's death from pancreatic cancer left a lingering fear of health decline. Initially, he tackled his weight through diet and exercise, shedding pounds to improve his mobility. But at over 350 pounds, he opted for gastric bypass surgery in 2018, a decision inspired by Corey's earlier success with the procedure. The results were staggering. Chumlee lost over 160 pounds, dropping to a healthier 190 by 2020. This transformation wasn't just physical. It restored his energy and confidence, allowing him to reclaim a quality of life he'd lost. He shared this journey publicly, posting before and after photos on Instagram and speaking to outlets like TMZ about inspiring others. His father's memory drove this change, a quiet tribute to a man whose loss had once threatened to define him. This redemption arc, turning adversity into advocacy, underscored Chumlee's resilience, a stark contrast to the prison rumor's grim portrait. Despite the 2016 scandal, Chumlee remained a cornerstone of Pawn Stars, his fan base unwavering. By 2025, he'd expanded his portfolio beyond the pawn shop. His candy store thrived, and he ventured into collectibles, capitalizing on his pinball expertise. In 2023, he launched Chumlee's Adventure: The Quest for Pinky, a video game blending humor and nostalgia, a nod to his quirky persona. He also starred in Pawn Stars Do America, a 2022 spin-off where he, Rick, and Corey traveled the US to buy rare items, airing into 2025. These projects showcased his adaptability, proving he could evolve beyond the pawn counter while staying true to the show that made him. His continued presence on Pawn Stars, now in its 23rd season, affirmed his enduring appeal, even as the show leaned into scripted drama. Chumlee's bond with Rick and Corey, forged over nearly 20 years, was more than on-screen chemistry. It was a family-like connection that resonated with viewers. Off-camera, he engaged fans through social media, albeit sporadically, sharing behind-the-scenes glimpses, convention appearances like San Diego Comic-Con 2024, and personal milestones. His posts, whether hyping a new candy flavor or flexing his slimmer frame, reflected a humility and humor that kept his following loyal. Fans saw in him a relatable figure, flawed, funny, and fiercely authentic, a man who'd weathered storms yet retained his charm. Chumlee's journey, from a pawn shop kid in Henderson to a reality TV icon, entrepreneur, and health advocate, paints a picture of growth through adversity. The life sentence rumor, debunked as a distortion of his 2016 plea, highlighted the fragility of reputation in the internet age. No court records, news reports, or statements from Chumlee or the Harrisons support the claim. It's a ghost born of clickbait and confusion. Yet, the scare underscored his resilience. His legacy isn't just in candy or TV, it's in proving that setbacks, whether legal or personal, don't define a life. Chumlee's story, still unfolding, remains a testament to humor, hustle, and the power of second chances.